Christmas Eve, a night of warmth, joy, and family gatherings. But hidden beneath the twinkling lights and festive laughter are stories that twist the cheer into chills. Tonight, let's step into the shadowy corners of Christmas, where Santa isn't the only one coming to town. The Perelson home stood proud on Los Feliz Boulevard, adorned with twinkling lights and wreaths. Inside, the family prepared for the holidays. Lillian hummed as she arranged garlands, while the children, Judy, Debbie, and Joel, gathered around the tree. It was a postcard-perfect scene, yet beneath the surface, something dark simmered. Dr. Harold Perelson, a respected surgeon, sat silently at the head of the table. His eyes flicked from his wife to his children, his mind elsewhere. Financial pressures, professional setbacks, and personal demons haunted him. The festive atmosphere felt like a fragile facade, ready to crack. Then came the night. Midnight. A scream pierced through the Perelson home. Judy, the eldest, awoke to find her mother's lifeless body on the floor. Harold, blood-stained and holding a hammer, stood over her. He turned to Judy, his voice calm but hollow. "Go back to sleep. This is a nightmare." Judy fled, her heart pounding. Barefoot and terrified, she banged on the neighbors' doors. Meanwhile, Debbie and Joel remained in their beds, too frightened to move. The sound of their father's footsteps echoed down the hall. The police arrived to a silent home. Inside, they found Dr. Perelson dead, an empty bottle of pills beside him. The children were saved, but their Christmas joy was forever shattered. Yet this wasn't the end of their nightmare. The house on Los Feliz Boulevard stood empty for decades. Neighbors whispered of strange sightings, lights flickering, shadows moving, the faint sound of Christmas carols in the dead of night. No family ever stayed long. They all felt it, the presence of something watching, waiting. Recent visitors report chilling experiences. One woman claims she heard soft sobbing from the children's room. Another saw a figure in a blood-stained coat staring from the window. Was it Harold reliving his dark deed, or the spirits of those lost, trapped in an endless Christmas Eve? As you lay down tonight, listening to the whispers of the wind and the rustling of branches, remember, not all Christmas spirits are merry. Some linger long after the tree is down and the lights fade. Sleep well, if you can. Over the years, stories about the Perelson house grew. Paranormal investigators flocked to it, eager to document the lingering energy. Some claimed to hear the faint sound of children laughing, while others heard desperate whispers urging them to leave. One investigator, shaken to his core, described the sensation of icy fingers brushing across his neck just as the lights in his equipment flickered out. One Christmas Eve, a group of teenagers dared each other to spend the night in the abandoned house. Armed with flashlights and bravado, they stepped inside, unaware of the horrors awaiting them. They joked at first, the old decorations still hanging eerily in the corners. But as midnight approached, laughter turned to nervous silence. The sound of footsteps echoed from upstairs, except no one was there. They fled in terror, but not all made it out unscathed. One girl swore she felt someone grab her arm, yanking her back. When they escaped, a hand-shaped bruise marked her wrist, though no human hands had touched her. She never celebrated Christmas the same way again. In 2020, a family from out of town, unaware of the house's dark past, decided to move in. The father, James, brushed off the rumors as local superstition. His wife, Emily, hesitated, but they needed a fresh start. Their children were excited until the first night. At exactly midnight, their youngest daughter woke up screaming, saying she saw a man standing at the foot of her bed. They searched the house, but no one was there. The next morning, James found scratches on the walls, deep, jagged lines, as if something had been trying to claw its way out. Days passed, and the family experienced strange phenomena. Doors slamming, Christmas lights flickering, shadowy figures darting in the corners of their eyes. Emily started hearing lullabies in the middle of the night, sung by an unseen voice. James dismissed it as stress until the voice called his name. On Christmas Eve, the family decided to leave, but the house had other plans. The front door wouldn't budge. Windows, once clear, were now fogged with frost from the inside. Emily screamed as their youngest child vanished before their eyes, only to reappear seconds later. trembling, whispering, "They don't want us to go." The family escaped, but the house remains. Neighbors avoid it, crossing the street when passing by. Every Christmas Eve, faint lights flicker in the windows, and the sound of faint weeping drifts into the cold night air. Some say the Perelson family is still there, trapped in a loop of despair, waiting for anyone brave or foolish enough to join them. So as you prepare for your holiday, remember, Christmas is a time for joy, but not every spirit is jolly. Some stories are best left untold, but you've heard this one. Now, will you sleep tonight, or will you hear the footsteps too? The Perelson house stands tall, a silent guardian of its own dark secrets. Some say the past never truly leaves, it just waits. As you walk through New York streets this holiday season, glance at the old windows, listen closely to the wind. Perhaps you'll hear the faint echo of a lullaby or catch a shadow in the corner of your eye. If you do, don't stop. Keep walking. Happy holidays, and beware the silence of Christmas Eve. As years passed, the Perelson tragedy faded from public memory, replaced by the bustle of a city that never sleeps. Yet the house remained, an enduring monument to the darkness of that December night. Neighbors whispered stories of strange lights flickering in the windows and shadows moving where no one lived. Paranormal investigators dared each other to enter, only to emerge pale and silent, refusing to speak of what they saw. And then, one Christmas Eve, the house stirred again. A family unaware of the past moved in seeking holiday joy, drawn by the charm of its old-world design. They decorated the towering tree in the living room, hung garlands across the mantel, and played festive music to drown out the eerie creaks of the floorboards. As the family settled in for their first Christmas Eve, the youngest child, Emma, was the first to notice. She whispered to her older brother about the faint sound of footsteps above them, slow, deliberate, and unnervingly familiar. Their parents dismissed it, blaming old pipes or the house settling, yet the sound persisted. A soft, rhythmic thump, followed by the unmistakable creak of the staircase. Curiosity turned to dread as the children crept toward the stairs, holding their breath. The Christmas tree lights flickered, casting eerie shadows across the walls. And then they saw it, an old dusty ornament swinging violently on the lowest branch, though no one had touched it. The children froze, watching the ornament sway as if someone unseen had brushed past it. Emma clung to her brother's arm, her small fingers trembling. Just as they were about to retreat, a low whisper echoed from the top of the stairs, cutting through the stillness like a blade. It wasn't the whisper of a parent or even a sibling. It was something wrong, cold, inhuman.